What's up, guys? My name is Jonah Hughes, and this is Side Hustle Central. This is a podcast where we talk about side hustles. We show people who have taken side hustles and turned them into successes, how to supplement your income, how to make a little extra money on the side. And so we go over all that in this podcast and kind of teach you and show you how to do these things to hopefully get you guys a couple extra $100 a week, if not more, and then see where it goes from there. So today we're going to be talking about eBay, eBay reselling mainly. It's something that I do. I've done it for, probably 6 months, 8 months. I started last year around the fall. Basically, what eBay reselling is you go and you buy something, you find it for like a good price, something that'll make you a little bit of money. For example, there's certain places you can go to where like everything's $10 or everything's $5. And essentially you can go there, buy something for that price, and then resell it on eBay for a higher profit. A lot of the stuff that I've bought before is something where I'll buy it for like $8 and then I can resell it for like $100 or more. There's been a few of those. Those are kind of the home runs that I get. Not everything is like that. Sometimes I'll buy it for $8 to $10 and then I'll resell it for 20. It's still doubling my money. It's still worth my time, but it's not something crazy where I can make a ton of money, but it's still supplementing my income. eBay reselling, really, what it has done for me is really supplemented my income as far as being able to make a few $100 a week. If you think about it, that's like an extra $1,000 a month. On average, I've been doing about $200 or $300 a week extra on it. That's when it's been really good. Usually it slows down in the summer times, and then in the winter times it picks back up again. Everybody's on their phones. Everybody's on the marketplace. They're wanting to buy stuff, especially around Christmas time. People are just wanting to buy a bunch of stuff. So kind of around the winter time when work slows down for me, reselling really picks up, which is nice. So to go over this, a couple questions we'll go over that will show you exactly what to do, how to do it, how you can make a little extra money. And this is something that really anybody can do. It's so easy. When I started it, I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it. I was super scared to make my first post on eBay. I was very scared. I did a little Amazon here and there too, but just on eBay, it was like very scary just to make my first listing and to make my first sale. I remember specifically my very first sale. It was something I found at Goodwill, and it was a pair of golf shoes. They're really nice FootJoy golf shoes. I bought them for $15. I cleaned them up. I washed them. I had some leather wax stuff, and I put that on it and really cleaned it up. And I went and I sold it for $60. It worked really well. I was super excited. I was very scared because I didn't know, how do you do the shipping? How do you do the listing? Did I take my pictures right? Did I put the right price on there? It's all those things that you have to figure out, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you out with that stuff. And in the future, we'll also have some more people that'll come on here to show you other ways to make other types of money in different categories. And so with eBay reselling, how does it work? eBay reselling is super, super easy. And kind of like I said before, you find something for really cheap that's of good value, and then you turn around, list it on eBay, sell it. A lot of times, I would say on average, I'm making about $20 to $30 a sale. I have some really good ones. I have some really bad ones. Some I just want to get rid of and I lose money on. It really depends on what it is. But it's very simple, very straightforward. You just find something cheap, resell it for a higher profit, and essentially you're just going to make the difference in between. It's a very simple and easy way to make the money. So where would you find the things to sell? That's always a big problem. I know a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of really successful people, they say the money is in the buy. Even when I was working in power sports, they said it's all about what you buy it for. You can sell it for whatever price, but if you sell it for $10,000, If you only bought it for 8,000, you'd make $2,000. But if you got a smoking deal where you bought it for 5,000, you could still sell it at that same $10,000, but you're making $5,000 on it instead of just that 2,000. So it's really about how do you buy it, where do you buy it from, and what price can you get it from. A couple places that I go to: Goodwill, obviously. Goodwill is a great place to find stuff. You do have to do a little more searching, but it's somewhere where, like, on your way home from work, you can just stop by Goodwill and pick up some stuff. You can search through a few different like bins that they have there. A lot of stuff that I buy at Goodwill, I've got jackets. There was one specifically that I got. It was $15. A super nice, brand new, still had the tags on it. Some like Air Force jacket, and brand new thing. It resold, like typically brand new on their website. It sold for like $250. I think I got rid of it for about $120. So I made like somewhere around $100 after all the fees and everything on it. Another place to find stuff to sell are bin stores. These would be Target returns, Amazon returns, Walmart returns. All of these places, what they do is if they get returns that they don't see as a valuable return, then they ship them all up. They pack them all up, put them into boxes, put them into like a semi, and then they'll like ship them out and sell the semi by the truckload to other places who are like, hey, I'll buy that entire truckload of like returned items, possibly defective items, just stuff that people didn't want and they didn't see a value in like actually putting back on the shelf. And then those people get it for pennies on the dollar. And then like the one here in town, they put them into bins and they have all these big returned items. They may work, they may not work. They might be brand new, just returned. And they'll sell it and they do $8 for everything. So whatever item you find, it's $8. If you find a laptop computer, $8. If you find like a pair of underwear, it's $8. It doesn't matter what it is. It's still $8 no matter what it is for that day. So that would be a bin store here in town. It's called Wholesale Logistics. If you are interested in it, that's in Lincoln, Nebraska. That place is awesome. That's been my baby for probably almost a year now, because I started like last winter. And the secret to it, if you are around this area in Lincoln, the secret is Friday and Saturday they get new bins there. So they get new truckloads. Fridays they completely restock everything. It's all new items. Nobody's looked at them. Nobody's dug through them. And then Saturday they put another layer on whatever is left. So they have the items from Friday and then they just put another layer on top of it. So both Friday and Saturday, it's $8 a day. And then like Sundays, it's $5, Mondays, it's $3, and Tuesdays, it's $1 for whatever you can find. But they've been sifted through. But if you do go Friday or Saturday, what you want to do is you want to show up there. I typically get there between 6:30 and 7. And then there's a line that waits outside about 7:15 to 7:30. The owner or the manager shows up and passes out numbers for where your place in line is. Typically you want to be under 30. That's what I found is kind of the sweet spot. Just there's people who will stay there all night or get there at 3 a.m. So they'll be there, and usually that's 1 to like 10 or 15. And then if you're like 15 to 30, you're in a really good spot. You have plenty of time to look through stuff. But you get that number. I go to the gym. I like go work out, maybe grab a coffee, something like that. Get back there by 9:45, and then you get back in line at 10 o'clock. You're lined up. Go back into where you were in line. Go inside. Everybody's kind of like running, walking super fast. But you go back inside and then you can start digging through the bins. So that's kind of the trick with it. You got to show up super early in the morning, get your number, come back, and then you're in line. That has been my baby. I've made so much money off of that. Just reselling items. I mean, here recently, let's see, I got like a $200 vacuum for it. It was $8 to me. but the price of it and the value of it is $200. And when you find any of these items, you have to make sure that it is valuable. You don't just want to grab any crap that you find. You need to make sure it's valuable. So another place you can find that stuff is garage sales. That's a little less common. I don't do that very often. Some people who resell like furniture and stuff like that, they will go to garage sales because it's a lot easier to find. If you're looking for like new items, probably not going to find it at garage sales. You want to go to like a bin store. Goodwill is a good one for shoes, I would say. Shoes and clothing. And but garage sales are good for some other stuff. You can find some electronics there too that people just want to get rid of. Golf clubs are another thing that sell really well. The shipping on those is a little sketchy though. And then the last place is Facebook, actually. So Facebook is kind of like a garage sale. You're looking at Marketplace for stuff that has value, but you can find it for super cheap. And somebody, let's just use a golf club set, for example. Somebody wants to sell their golf club set. It's a pair of, I don't even know, Wilsons, something like that. A set of Wilson golf clubs. Maybe they're worth $400, and somebody's like, hey, I want to sell these for $50. Well, you can take those, and then you might be able just to take the irons out of them and be like, sell them on eBay or something and say, hey, I got a set of Wilson irons and I'm going to sell them for $75. That might be valuable to somebody else in another part of the world more than it is to whoever is in your local market. That's the good part about eBay, is that you can sell stuff that might not be valuable to your area and put it in a marketplace in an area that is valuable. So that's what you can do with Facebook, is take something from your local market and push it out into the world. So a really good question that you probably need to know is how do you know a product is actually good to resell? Things I like to stay away from would be safety items. I've gotten some posts taken off for being like safety helmets, especially if you put something as new. So I put a bike helmet on eBay and I wasn't allowed to sell it because it was a new helmet, which means there's liability with it. You don't want to do that. But if you find good items, what you want to do is anytime you're at a garage sale, anytime you're at a bin store, you want to find the items, go on Google Chrome or Amazon if you think it's like an Amazon item. You want to see what it sells for new. You want to make sure your item is in working condition or great condition. And then typically what I found is you can sell it for, on average, about 50% of what it is new. So as long as that margin is there, so if you find something that sells for $100, and so you're like, okay, if it's $100, this thing's basically new, I can sell it for like $50. If you find something that's like, well, I can buy it for 10, sell it for 50, and it's worth $100, that gives enough margin between your buy and how much you can sell it for, and that gives enough margin between the sale price and the value price. People want to think that they're getting deals. So whenever they find something on eBay, they're going to want to see that there is a big gap between, hey, this is worth $100, but I'm paying like 50% of it. I'm getting a good deal. In the meantime, you're selling it and you're saying, well, I'm getting a good deal too, because I'm making $40 on a $10 buy. I'm making 4 times the money that the cash on cash return, 4 times that, which is really good. And I know we're working with small numbers, but 4 times your money is not bad. And you can scale that up to different items too. You might end up buying a $100 item and selling it for $400. That could be good margins, and you start to make more money as you go along and as you learn more. So main thing about finding a good item, make sure it's in good condition, make sure it's going to resell for a good amount, and make sure it's actually like in season to sell. Something that is going to sell, the best items are items that will sell all year round. So like vacuum cleaners, they're a great item. Fitness clothes, Gym shoes are pretty good. They sell all year round because people will use them all year round. Christmas decorations, I'd stay away from it because once Christmas is done, then your listing is going to stay on eBay. And then what are you going to do? You're going to have to pull it off of eBay. You're going to have to get rid of it, do garage sales, and try to throw it away or something. Another good question is, how much money can you honestly make on eBay? I told you a little bit about myself as far as like how much I was able to make, which that's like $200 or $300 a week. Sometimes there have been weeks where I'm like, hey, we made $500 this week. This is a great week. And then the next week it's like, I didn't sell anything. For example, the past 3 weeks, I've made about $200 or $300 each week. It's been awesome. It's been flowing. Sales have been coming in. This week, I thought we'd have more sales, and so far I've done $15. Not very good. Not this week, but it comes and it goes, and it's kind of seasonal. Like I said, the wintertime is a lot better, and we're kind of getting in the fall area, so it is getting a lot better, but you can make as much as you're willing to put into it, which I know seems like an easy answer, but if you're willing to invest $500 into it and have $500 of products sitting on your shelf and have the space to do that and have the capacity to do it and have the $500 to spend, you could be making a lot more money than a lot of other people. But you got to remember that you have to be able to find that $500 in good products to sell. I've tried it before where I'm like, man, I didn't find anything at Goodwill. I gotta find something. And then I'll look at a pair of shoes where I originally said there's no way I'm gonna buy that, and I end up making a sacrifice, you could say, a concession for it, and going, well, okay, I can clean these up and sell them. And then I put them online and they just don't sell. So then I have this stupid pair of shoes that was not nice in the first place. I paid too much for them. I didn't like them. I didn't think I could get rid of them, but I was desperate to find something, and I have them sitting in my garage forever, and then somehow have to find a way to get rid of them. I take them to another reseller place and then lose half of the money that I put into them. So it's not worth it. Definitely worth waiting for the right products and getting the right things to sell to make sure you can go. But if you're able to put more money into it, that means you can buy more products. That means you can list more items, which will mean your average sales will go a lot higher. You'll be able to sell a lot more. And then how far can you scale this business? It's the same as how much money can you make. You can scale it to as much as you want. And you can get into higher priced items, like higher ticket items. Some people sell cars on eBay. Some people sell small engines on eBay. Some people sell watches on eBay. There's all these things that you can get into that if you have the money to do it and you can grow the business as much as you can, then you can start investing in these things and then selling in a different marketplace, selling a different type of item. I mean, I know Rolex is kind of a bad example, but you could use Rolex and be like, well, now I've scaled it to where I can find a Rolex for $10,000 and resell it for $15,000. Okay, now instead of making, you're making, let's just say, half of your money invested. So 50% profit right there. And that's better to do $10,000 and make $5,000 on it than it is to do $100 and make $50 on it. Same percentage, but much higher margins as far as the actual cash that you get from it. So it really depends on you, on how much you want to scale it. So eBay reselling really isn't that hard to do. Like I said, it's very easy. Anybody can do it. As long as you got a couple extra bucks, you got a phone, you got the internet. All you have to do is find the item, make sure it's worth it, take your pictures, make a listing. Setting an eBay account up is super easy. And then you can buy shipping labels off of eBay. They work with UPS, USPS, FedEx, everybody. All you have to do is box it up, put in your dimensions, and then you take it to whatever store it is that you're selling it at, and you just scan a QR code. They'll slap a label on there for you, and you're good to go. There's been times where I've had 8 boxes to take, and it was super easy. I just label the boxes, label the QR codes, and then take them there and we're good. But it's very easy to do. Anybody can do it. You just got to find the place to buy the items. That's the biggest boundary. You have to find somewhere to get those items and something that's consistent. So that the wholesale logistics that I go to is like every Saturday I go there. It takes up just my morning. I'm done by 11 o'clock. I wake up early. I still get my lift in, and it doesn't take a lot of time. It takes maybe 30 minutes to take pictures and list everything on eBay. So it's super easy. But eBay reselling is good. I've made thousands of dollars on it so far. I've been doing it for about a year, so it's been good for me, a good supplement. And even if you're in high school, like high school would be super easy. All you got to do is go to school and play some sports, and then on the weekends you can just find a few things to sell. You know, get your mom to take you to Goodwill, get your mom to take you to like a local bin store, or there's another place that actually does their own reselling where they list everything for about 50%, and you can find some good stuff there to resell too. But anybody can do it. It's very easy, and you can make some good money on it. But that's the show. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you guys listening to Side Hustle Central. I want to hear from you. I want to see what you guys want to learn about, what side hustles you guys are interested in. I don't do stock trading. I don't do Forex. I've tried that stuff. Not something I would recommend. So if you guys are asking, be like, hey, how can I do foreign exchanges and how can I do this? Just wait until you're older, figure it out yourself. I've had, probably 50 accounts that followed me that were like, I'm a Forex trader. Wonderful. I don't care. I don't want any part to do with it. I used to trade penny stocks. Like, it's something you can do, but not something that I would encourage you guys to do, to like get into when you're young, unless you're willing to put a ton of time and a lot of risk into it. Here on this show, we're looking for something more sustainable, something a little easier to do, and where you can get instant returns. So thanks again for listening. If you do have an idea on what you guys want to hear, if you're listening on YouTube, put a comment under the video. Any other platforms, make sure you like it, subscribe to all my channels. You can find me at Jonah Hughes Official. If you want to DM me and connect or give me your feedback, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to maybe answer some questions on the show too. But hopefully soon we'll be having some guests on, and we'll see how it goes from there. Reach out to me and tell me what side hustles you want to see. But for now, thanks again for listening, and keep hustling.